G'day, my name's Clint Patterson and I'm a corporate speaker, author and previous sufferer of rheumatoid arthritis, and I've got an unusual rheumatoid arthritis story that I want to share with you today. It's about how I completely eliminated my severe rheumatoid arthritis and how I finally enjoyed going to bed at night, knowing that I wasn't going to wake up in the morning in chronic pain after 5 years of suffering. And now I have the humble and honourable task of helping people around the world with their chronic rheumatoid arthritis to get on a path where they can be pain-free, drug-free and full of massive energy. And today I'd like to share with you some information to help you do the same. So how did I do it? How do I go from chronic rheumatoid arthritis that was all through my body? I didn't have a small case of this. I had it absolutely severe in my jaw, in my elbows, my feet, my wrists, even my chest. And how do you go from having that to getting off your medication and getting well again? Well, you need to think big. You need to overcome the problem that most people believe that rheumatoid arthritis is incurable. You need to believe that rheumatoid arthritis can be cured, and the fact that you're watching this video and that you're on an active search to find a solution tells me that you already believe in your heart that this can be done. You need the right information. The right information can be very difficult to obtain with this disease because most of the information out there is contradictory. And I'm sure you've seen one source of information say one thing and then another say another. Well, believe me, I went through that for many, many years, studying very hard and trying to get to the bottom of this, and I'll explain a little bit more about what I did in a moment. But you need the right information. I'm going to give you the right information in this video. And you also need the guts to pull this off, because you need to take action, and you need to take matters into your own hands, and you need to actually do something different, and that takes guts. So you need to think big, you need to believe, have the right information, have the guts to do it. This is my photograph of my left hand, which shows how swollen my index and middle finger were. I couldn't bend those two fingers properly, I couldn't create a fist, and I couldn't open the car door. They were so painful, those fingers. I had a shocking left knee, which meant that my wife had to help me to the bathroom every morning. My limp was so severe, everyone would say, "What's wrong with your leg?" It was just so horrible for so long. And I was on 25 milligrams of methotrexate, which I took every single week for years. And I thought, what is the solution to this absolute nightmare? Now, I don't know how you feel about this disease, but I think that there's nothing worse on the planet than this disease. It is so horrible. I thought, what do I have to do to get out of this nightmare, this hell on earth that I'm in? I tried everything. I tried naturopaths and herbalists and Chinese medicine and acupuncturists. I tried massage therapy, and everything failed. Everything only gave me a slight improvement, or just a little bit of pain relief, but nothing was getting to the source of the problem, and I was getting worse. Until then I had a discovery. What I found I refer to now as the cherry incident. I ate a bunch of cherries in one go, a huge serving of cherries that I hadn't washed, and these cherries must have had a pesticide on them or something. And what happened is I became violently sick for 24 hours. I was vomiting and I had diarrhea, so I was completely purging my body from both ends. And what happened was I actually felt fantastic in my joints after 24 hours of not eating. And I thought, what's going on here? How come by not eating I actually felt a lot better? And I thought, what's the relationship between the digestive system and rheumatoid arthritis? And I thought there's got to be some kind of relationship, because by having no food in my stomach, I felt fantastic. And so I started my research on this, and I found a scientific study from 1988. And what the scientists did, they took 14 patients on a 1-week water fast, and everyone improved dramatically. The author said there's a rapid improvement in rheumatoid arthritis by basically stopping people to eat. And I thought, what's going on? But I thought, at least this is hope. It shows that if people don't eat, they can feel better, but of course you've got to eat. So I went back to studying again, and I thought, what can I find out about rheumatoid arthritis and its relationship with what we're putting into our body? I just want to add here, just to give you an idea, my research credentials are also pretty strong. I got first-class honours in optoelectronics at Macquarie University. I got the highest thesis grade ever at my university for my department. I got the University Science Prize for my research. I discovered something about these things called fibre Bragg gratings, which are now used under the ocean in what now makes up the internet that you're using to watch this. And I got the Piercy Award for contributions to the industry. And I was here being presented at the sprightly age of 22 for my work by the New South Wales State Minister for Information Technology. So I really know how to research. And I read everything with my main focus was the digestive system. When I started, I didn't know anything about this. So I had to read every journal, every article, every book about nutrition I could find, speak to every doctor and herbalist and naturopath and homeopath and everyone I could find. And I was urgently studying because my knee was getting worse. My left knee was blowing out to the point where I was looking at possibly a knee replacement. I was having surgery. My left elbow was so bad that I had to have a synovectomy on my elbow, and my right one started to behave the same way, and I was panicking. And I was on 25 milligram a week of that damn drug that made me so tired and made me so depressed and made me so upset. But I started to find things. I found 22 scientific studies showing the link between certain foods and rheumatoid arthritis. And I found authors and previous sufferers who had cured themselves from rheumatoid arthritis. And this gave me hope because other people had done it. Unfortunately, though, I found the information was scattered and confusing, and so I decided to take it upon myself. And I thought one reason I may have got this disease in the first place is so that I can cure it and I can show other people what to do. And so I started to believe that in my heart, that it was my job to cure this disease and teach others. In the following months, I studied. I sorted the good information from the bad, and I concentrated on results. I cross-referenced everything. I put together my free ebook, The Hidden Cause, Food and Rheumatoid Arthritis, and I put together a 118-page step-by-step guide that I could follow, which I called the Patterson Program for Rheumatoid Arthritis. And I followed it. I followed this program for a few months to see how my condition would improve. Well, it was unbelievable. The blood indicator, C-reactive protein, dropped from a level of 14 on the 30th of April 2011 down to essentially 0 on the 31st of July. My rheumatologist couldn't believe it. And during that period I also was able to reduce my methotrexate so that now you can see here whenever I get a blood test it says that I was previously on methotrexate for rheumatoid arthritis. I now use this as my Facebook header, Clint's Cure, showing how I can now easily create a fist. I can easily now stand on my left knee without problem. It supports my whole body weight and I can walk freely. And check out this video. I can now run on my knee easily.
Yep. Go, honey! Yeah!
I'm now an ambassador for Arthritis New South Wales, and this is me giving a talk at Bondi Beach there in Sydney. And I speak on the corporate scene across the country and perform at corporate events. What do I talk about? I talk about how there's a new approach to replace the old ways that do not work. The game has changed, folks. Plan A, which is the program that you're probably on right now, is to follow the lead of your rheumatologist and take toxic medication after medication. Continue to search for medications that will work, in inverted commas, and will give you less side effects. Dabble in supplements like fish oil or glycosamine sulfate, chondroitin and so forth, and you kind of just hope that they help. And continue on this path and live a shortened life in pain and frustration, thinking nothing can be done and I am a victim. Well, that frankly sucks. So that's why I developed Plan B. Plan B is to become educated in the truth about this disease so you are informed and you are in control. You learn about what options you have and know that there are alternatives to terrible Plan A. You need to find a role model and learn from what they have done, because success leaves clues, and what other people have achieved, other people can follow. You need to trust your powerful gut instincts that tell you that you can get well. You need to follow a path that is proven to get results, rather than one that you know is disappointing. So let me teach you the 5 principles to cure rheumatoid arthritis that you must know. You must know that drugs will not cure RA. Drugs are toxic. Drugs like methotrexate, the all too familiar drug that 95% of people with RA end up on some time, causes you to be depressed and tired and many other side effects. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatories are harmful to your intestinal environment and also very temporary only. And then we've got the fabulous prednisone, Humira and Enbrel and other biologics and all the other countless drugs out there that do not cure your rheumatoid arthritis but simply address the symptoms and have toxic side effects. Secondly, some drugs make your rheumatoid arthritis worse. Drugs like antibiotics, which not only destroy your bad bacteria in your intestines, but also destroy all your healthy bacteria, which needs to exist for many, many reasons. Also, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories damage the intestinal environment and overall deplete your health. Supplements will not cure your rheumatoid arthritis. I tried everything that I've currently got displayed right now, and none of these particular things were the reason that I got well from rheumatoid arthritis. They can be often very expensive and can create a distraction and a false sense of security whilst you're actually not really getting to the bottom of the problem. The real cause of rheumatoid arthritis is a digestive disorder. You may have heard something along these lines before, but no one will have ever explained it to you in the way that I'm about to explain to you now. What causes the pain? Why do you get this rheumatoid arthritis pain? Why are your joints all inflamed, swollen and red? What's going on is that antigens or foreign particles are getting into your bloodstream. When these particles get into your bloodstream, your body creates an antibody to the antigen, and that's how your autoimmune system works. Your body simply creates an antibody to these antigens that should not be in your blood. When you get an antigen and antibody combined together, it's called a circulating immune complex. And these CICs can get lodged in small capillaries. Well, guess where your small capillaries are? They're inside your joints. This causes an inflammation response. And when you get molecular mimicry, that's where the body attacks itself. And the body does this, and it develops rheumatoid arthritis, when your body thinks that the lining of your joints is these antigens that are getting into your bloodstream. So what if you're able to stop these antigens getting into your bloodstream? Well, guess what? The body no longer sees these particles in the bloodstream, and so the autoimmune system completely calms down and stops looking for these problems and eventually stops attacking your body. So, to cure your RA, you must heal your intestines. You must basically stop these particles getting into your blood. To stop polluting your blood, you must address the blame. And I've come up with this acronym called BLAME to cover the 5 aspects of the underlying cause of rheumatoid arthritis. The first part is bacteria. In your body, you're meant to have 2 to 3 pounds of healthy bacteria. That means you should think of your healthy bacteria almost like another organ. It's a living organism of microorganisms. Now, these microorganisms are meant to be in there. Your healthy bacteria are meant to exist inside your body, and they play such an important role to your overall health. 2 important roles that you need to know is that one is it produces B vitamins, which are linked to your energy levels. So when your levels of bacteria are low, that means that you're going to have great difficulty in having enough energy. Secondly, the bacteria create enzymes which help break down your food. Keeping in mind that we talked about how antigens are getting into your bloodstream, these are large particles. So if you're not breaking down your food well, then the large particles are entering your blood. Now, leaky gut, this is a problem, meaning that there's holes in your intestinal wall that's allowing these antigens, these foreign particles, to get into your blood that shouldn't be there. A body that is acidic is a body that finds itself difficult to heal. And researchers showed in the early 1900s, and won a Nobel Prize for this, showed that cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment. And I've found that by addressing the acidity in a body, which comes about by eating lots of processed foods and foods that are high in sugar content and in some cases fat content, then by addressing the acidity and reducing the acidity in a patient, then a person can become well and get well quicker in that kind of healthier environment. The M in the blame is the mucosal lining. You are meant to have a lining of mucus inside your intestines that protects it from things that are moving through the digestive tract. And what happens is by eating the wrong foods for a long period of time, foods that are again highly processed or difficult to break down, cause this mucosal lining to deplete itself, and when it's not there, it allows the gut wall to be exposed to these antigens and foreign particles which can enter the blood. Finally, enzymes. You need enzymes to occur to make everything happen in your body. They're actually behind every process, from me creating this voice that's now speaking with you and your eyes to watch this video and to hear these words that I'm saying. Enzymes are required for everything, and most importantly though, are digestive enzymes for the case of rheumatoid arthritis, because without breaking down your food enough, then those large particles are going through your intestines. They are not being stopped by a mucosal lining, and they're getting into your blood, and your body is then attacking them and developing a system where it's trying to break down those particles and eventually the lining of your joints by mistake. So what do you do about this? Oh, people say, I'm so confused. How do I address this? Well, that is why I spent so much time and energy putting together the ultimate approach to how to get rid of the problem and how to fix all these underlying conditions. And that's what I call the Patterson program for rheumatoid arthritis. And that's the program that I followed myself to get from chronically sick to getting well again. It's very easy to follow. There's no supplements or drugs of any kind. Everything, all the healing is done naturally. There's no change to your program with your rheumatologist. The rheumatologist and yourself stick with the existing medications, and he still controls which medications with your acceptance as to which is the right approach, but you can follow this in parallel. It's a step-by-step guide from start to finish, and you can go at your own pace, and there's videos in the first 12 days to walk you through the key stages. Typical results: increase in energy without doubt, reduction in the CRP and ESR of just about everyone who follows this program. I'll show you some examples on the next slide. Less joint pain, increased range of motion in joints, reduced swelling and heat in joints, and naturally reduced inflammation. Here are some success stories, and I've only summarized this for brevity, but the details of these can all be found on the testimonials page of the Clint's Cure website. Jilly had RA for 25 years and had no success in helping herself during that entire time. Within 2 months, she reduced her C-reactive protein from 38 to 13. Again, that's just in 2 months. Ron had been bedridden. He'd been on Humira, methotrexate, prednisone. He started the program. Within 4 weeks, his C-reactive protein went from 118 to 27. Josephine was on prednisone for 18 months and told me she'd been on every other drug out there. Within 3 months, she got off all medication. Anne had RA for 5 years. She saw an 85% improvement in only 2 weeks. And Sarge's wife contacted me, told me that his wife was in constant RA pain. After 2 weeks of following the program, he wrote to me and said she's virtually pain-free. Keep in mind, rheumatoid arthritis, remember, in theory, incurable. What are we seeing here? We're seeing a consistent pattern. We're seeing the fact that I got well by following the program that I've outlined, and all of these people have gotten huge improvements and are still on a path to wellness by following the same exact program that I'm describing to you here. People say, what if it doesn't work? Well, that's why I offer 100% money-back guarantee. With the Patterson program to rheumatoid arthritis, you actually get the entire 118-page guide. You also get the 22 scientific references that I've described earlier, and this is all of the foundation, the backbone of my entire program, which I built upon. Videos in the first 12 days, so if you're unsure, you can watch the videos and you can see exactly how to do things. You also get to contact me during this time because I'm always available to offer some kind of guidance or answer some questions, no problems. Remember that your current plan A is expensive. It costs me where it costed me $165 to go to every time I went to my rheumatologist. Think how much money that is. Medications, supplements, I spent thousands on supplements. Surgeries, my single surgery cost $4,000 out of pocket. And I spent $14,000 in 3 years and I wasn't getting any better. All of this package is not thousands of dollars. It's only $49. You can have everything right now. All you need to do is click on the button below this video and go through the simple purchase step and gain instant access to all of these resources. With all of these resources, then I can teach you how to get well again. I can teach you how to get out of the chronic pain and how to eliminate anemia, how to reduce morning stiffness, how to get your energy back and start to feel happy about the way you look in the mirror again and start to feel happy about your life and the direction that you're heading in. Plan A or Plan B, you can choose, you have to choose now, because if your joints are warm, then they're degrading. If your joints are red and swollen, then they're degrading. And the cartilage cannot be restored because the damage to cartilage is permanent. And I thought to myself, how will my joints be in 1 year from now? How will my joints look like in 5 years from now unless I don't make it a must to get well? And I thought to myself, my health is worth everything. And I'm sure you believe your health is worth everything too. Well, this program is hands down the best decision you will ever make with regards to your rheumatoid arthritis. And I look forward to helping you on your new journey to wellness. So just go ahead now and click the button below and start the exciting path towards becoming pain-free, drug-free, and full of massive energy.